I'd like to welcome everybody, some guests from out of town. I see Mr. Lesky has joined us, where the esteemed mayor of Clearfield is here. We'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the October 14th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now, for the part that we so much enjoy, the approval of the bills. Turn this over to Controller Edwards.
All right, general fund, $1,990,055.77. Almost 900 of that was an internal transfer from general fund to CYS to help keep things going with the state budget issue. Any rate, hazmat is 107.95, 911 $25,087.38. Domestic relations, $4,881.64, and CYS, $515,768.90, for a total of $2,535,901.64.
Do I have a motion to approve the bills as presented by Controller Edwards?
So moved.
I'll second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Give us just a moment while we sign. Steal your pen.
Yep.
You don't have an orange pen?
I do not have an orange pen today. It is a sad moment.
Well, we better stop the meeting.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you,
could just
Controller. Okay,
She's gonna get you a pen now.
she's going to, I bet she'll come back with an orange pen.
Hopefully it doesn't make as much noise as
What-
when she got
What would we
the chair.
do if she wasn't here?
Sorry, no
Yeah.
orange.
Please. Okay, public comment. Do we have anyone here who wishes to address the meeting in public comment?
Don't forget personnel.
You still got personnel.
I mean, it's okay,
I got
but
that out of order. It's okay.
Let's just shake things
Now
up.
we'll go back to the personnel. Seeing none for public comment. The following personnel changes presented by the HR department for our approval. A new hire, part-time corrections officer jail, 10/27/2025. Transfer, law clerk, public defender to assistant public defender, PD's office, effective 10/20/2025. Separations and retirements, part-time security guard, effective 3/31/2025. Part-time corrections officer, effective 10/14/2025. 911 telecommunications, effective 10/21/2025. 911 telecommunications, effective 10/23/2025. And DC3 in the Register and Recorder Office, effective 11/7/2025. No FMLA or leave of absence request. Do I have a motion to accept the personnel changes as presented?
so moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. See, I didn't have a pen to check that off. Now we're back in the proper order here. Any old business to come before the board? Seeing none, we will move on to new business. Proclaiming November as National Adoption Month, and we have Jennifer Teets with us today.
Is it okay to stand here, or would you like me to use the podium?
Whatever you like.
What's your
Whatever I-
pleasure? What's your pleasure?
If you would come up front, that way
Yeah.
Sure.
our thousands of viewers
Your talent.
will be able to see you and see your smiling face.
So, of course, November is National Adoption Month, a time when the country comes together to bring attention to the hundreds of thousands of children who are currently have a goal of adoption and are waiting to find their forever family across the United States. And National Adoption Month is because every child deserves to know unconditional love and the security of having a permanent home. About 3,500 of these children reside within the state of Pennsylvania. Sadly, only 20% of those children will find their adoptive home within 4 years of being originally placed in foster care. The most disturbing statistic is that 26% of those children will age out of care without ever finding a forever family. Adoption is the way to provide these children and youth with a lifelong support system and ultimately a chance at a much brighter future. Not just in November, but all year long, Children's Aid Society hopes that there are families within this community that will take a chance and become an adoptive family to provide a permanent, loving, safe, and supportive environment for the state's most vulnerable children and youth. It is amazing to think that within our own community, we have families who have the ability to change a child's life forever. On behalf of the Children's Aid Society adoption staff, many of whom are with me today, I want to say thank you for this opportunity to speak on behalf of all the children in Pennsylvania who are awaiting a permanent family, and a big thank you to the Clearfield County Commissioners who are willing to acknowledge November as National Adoption Month.
And I would like to thank you and thank the Children's Aid Society and all your adoption staff. I will now read in the National Adoption Month proclamation. Every child deserves a loving, nurturing, and permanent home. Sadly, at any given time, there are approximately 15,000 abused and neglected children in the care of Pennsylvania's foster care system. These children are not the newborns that most people picture when they think of adoption. Generally, they are older boys and girls and teenagers who often have unique medical, psychological, and physical needs. Each year, hundreds of youth age out of Pennsylvania's foster care system due to unknown circumstances. There are more than 3,000 children with a goal of adoption in Pennsylvania, and several of those children do not have an identified resource. Adoption gives these children a brighter future, brings great joy to the adoptive parents, and places fewer demands on social services. Whereas adoption is the permanency plan for more than 3,500 children in Pennsylvania, whereas nearly all of these children have special needs because of physical, mental, or emotional disabilities, because they must be placed as a sibling group, because they are minorities, or because they are school-aged. Whereas these children need extra patience and support to help them overcome previous hardships, whereas there are families able and willing to adopt children who have special needs. Whereas children waiting for adoptive parents and families who have adopted these children require and deserve community and public agency support. Now therefore, we, the Commissioners of Clearfield County and Clearfield, PA, do proclaim November as National Adoption Month. In honor of this event, we encourage citizens, community agencies, religious organizations, businesses, and others to celebrate adoption, honor families that grow through adoption, further an awareness of the changes and issues in adoption, and focus attention on those children who live in the shadow of an uncertain future while they await permanent families. Do I have a motion to adopt this proclamation?
So moved.
I'll second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
And once again, thank you so much for what you do for our community. Would you like to get a picture with,
Absolutely,
do you want to include your staff? What-
yeah, absolutely.
Whoever you would like to include, we will accommodate.
Jennifer, do you have your camera? Do you want me to take one with a phone? Or I'll take it and I can send, oh, you,
Or you can take one, Heather,
I'll
you know
take
my
it.
email, you can send it to me.
Yeah, if you want to take one and then,
okay, I'll take it.
Jeff's slinking up there to get a front row seat.
Yeah.
And they'll move afterwards.
And again, thank you all.
Yeah.
Thank you, we appreciate
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, guys, who wants?
Jennifer Teets,
Jay, can you spell it?
Jenniffer,
Okay, very good.
and then Teats,
And what's your title?
Adoption Program Manager.
And how about you?
Taylor Ross,
And what's your title?
permanency worker.
Okay.
Kaylin Laswansky, CailynLesvansky,
And what's your title?
permanency worker.
Kim Olson, OLSON,
And what's your title? Ken?
permanency worker.
Zachary Bainey, B-A-I-N-E-Y,
Can you spell Zachary?
Z-A-C-H-A-R-Y,
That's B-A,
I-N-E-Y,
and what's your title?
permanency worker.
And your name?
Taylor Marshall.
Taylor?
Yep.
Just regular spelling.
Mhm.
T-A-L-L?
Yep.
And what's your title?
Permanency worker.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good to see you. Take care.
Did you give Heather the no.
And now moving on to item 2, a couple proclamations this month. Proclaim November as Veterans Appreciation Month. We have our Veterans Affairs Director, Misty Duran, and we also, I believe, on this topic, have Mayor Mason Strauss joining us today.
I certainly can, yeah.
Okay, so Misty being Sans voice, we will turn this over to Mayor of Clearfield Borough, Mason Strauss.
Hi everyone, my name is Mason Strauss. I'm the mayor of Clearfield, and Misty reached out to me about issuing a proclamation both at the county level and also at the borough level. So we'll be doing that at our meeting next month. But just wanted to send a special acknowledgement to all of our veterans and our families and everyone who has served and continues to serve our country. We owe a great deal of thanks and gratitude to those folks. And this is just one small way that we can do that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Strauss. I will now read the proclamation into the record. Proclamation of Veterans Appreciation Month, Clearfield County, Pennsylvania. Whereas the men and women of the United States Armed Forces have courageously answered the call to serve our country, defending our freedom and preserving our way of life. And whereas veterans from all branches of the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and Space Force have made immense sacrifices in the name of duty, honor, and country. And whereas these individuals, whether in times of war or peace, have demonstrated unwavering dedication, integrity, and patriotism, and their contributions have left a lasting impact on our nation and our communities. And whereas Clearfield County is proud to be home to a significant number of veterans whose services and experience enrich the fabric of our community. And whereas it is fitting and proper to set aside a dedicated time to honor and express our deepest gratitude to all veterans for their selfless service and to raise awareness of the challenges they may continue to face. And whereas designating the month of November as Veterans Appreciation Month allows us to come together as a community to recognize, celebrate, and support our veterans through ceremonies, events, acts of service, and expressions of thanks. Now therefore it be resolved that we, the County Commissioners of Clearfield County, do hereby proclaim the month of November 2025 as Veterans Appreciation Month in Clearfield County and encourage all residents, organizations, and institutions to honor and thank our veterans in meaningful and visible ways throughout the month and beyond. In witness whereof, we are hereunto set our hands and cause the seal of Clearfield County to be affixed this day, 28th of October, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
And I'm happy to second it, but just, and Misty, I know your voice isn't what it should be, but isn't it also November Veterans and Military Families Month? Was that also part of it?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I thought it was, but, okay, I'd be happy to,
I'd like to be that.
Okay,
happy to second.
and
I just-
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the proclamation, we'll sign that. Would you two like a picture?
Sure.
You don't have to talk for that.
Here, you want to take one? I'm so good at
I'm
cameras.
getting really good at it.
Misty, now you have to sing a patriotic song.
Sound like Mickey Mouse.
Of course, thank you both, thank you
Hold on,
all.
Jim, we got one more.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mason.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, moving on to item 3, we're going to award the food service bids for the Clearfield County Jail. As we accepted these bids at our last meeting, they have been reviewed,
That's correct. We received the two proposals that were just quickly reviewed and discussed at our last meeting. The warden and myself had an opportunity to go through those in much more detail. They're very extensive, as you can see. In review of both of them, in comparing the various aspects of what we asked a bit, including the meal price, the types of meals, what's included in the meals, as well as some upgrades to equipment out there. It is the recommendation that you accept the bid of Trinity Services Group. I would note that we have utilized their services in the past. We haven't had any issues. Obviously, we'll need to do an updated agreement that will come before you at some point in time. But this morning, I would ask that you award that to Trinity Services Group, and then we'll proceed with the next steps as to finalizing our agreement.
What's the length of the agreement?
1 year, and then there's optional renewals that go with it.
Do I have a motion to award the food service bid to the county jail to Trinity Food Service?
So moved.
I'll second.
Properly moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to item 4. Consider fiscal year 2025 CDBG application and resolution 2025 number 8, declaring all of the necessary requirements have been met for the application, and 2025 number 9, fair housing resolution. Lisa Kovalik, would you like to offer a little?
Sure. Fasten your seatbelts.
CDBG is always the fun stuff.
It is, isn't
so.
it? So the 2025 fiscal year of community development block grant has been an interesting one. For Clearfield County, we're looking at the non-entitlement, and the non-entitlement areas, I will stress, are every municipality with the exception of the city of DuBois, Clearfield Borough, Lawrence Township, Sandy Township, and Woodward Township. And that is because they get their own entitlement funding. So Clearfield County is going to allocate $209,984 of their allocation to address housing rehabilitation, $46,093 to the administrative cost. We did not have applications coming in for any of this typical infrastructure that we get, and with an over 200 people waiting on our housing list for services, the commissioners have decided to go ahead and put that money in for housing rehab. The Clearfield Borough is looking at redoing Levy Street, which is much needed. I spent some time doing surveys up and down Levy Street. Levy Street is more or less deteriorated, and I didn't realize what a thoroughfare Levy Street is from town to the south side. There's a lot of people that just zip up Levy and head to the right, to the south side. So Levy Street is gonna receive $93,410 in restructuring, resurfacing, and stormwater, and to $20,500 that will go for the administration of the Clearfield Borough CDBG program. And I should say that that census tract block group area on Levy Avenue is well over 51% LMI. Clearfield Borough is also acting on behalf of Lawrence Township. For 2025, Lawrence Township has an allocation of $130,396. $106,926 will be utilized for street improvements along Good Street in the Kerr area of Lawrence Township, and $23,470 will be program administration. The street has been surveyed, and it is 56.93% low to moderate income living on that road. Previously in 2015, I believe it was, Good Street received stormwater improvements where they dug the road up and put new stormwater basins and pipe in. And since then, nothing more has been done. The township has received calls from the school bus company and also ATA. The road is so narrow, there's safety concerns. We do have impaired individuals there, vision impaired individuals living on Good Street, as well as children, that the concern is there's no sidewalks if they would get hit. So we're going to, in Lawrence Township, widen that roadway on Good Street and give it a new resurfacing, or reconstruct it. And then the last part of it is on Woodward Township, on behalf of Clearfield County. Woodward Township has received to pave the rest of Kendrick Street. Kendrick from 5th Street to Hannah Street is going to receive payment. And Woodward Township received LSA funds in order to do Kendrick. They had funds left over, however, they could not use those funds to finish the job. So they're gonna use their CDBG allocation. $94,347 will go to the paving of that road, while $16,980 will remain for administration. I'm sorry, it's $76,367 will go for that. And for the press, I have this all written out for you guys. So, the township there is also concerned with pedestrians and the safety. The water, through the winter has heaved the road, potholes, as you know. I don't think there's a road in Clearfield County that we couldn't touch with resurfacing. So that is the application summary of, our community development block grant this year. This application will be submitted no later than October 31st to the Pennsylvania Department of Community and Economic Development. In addition to these projects, I brought forth for you the resolution that declares we have met all the standards to submit this application, and that is a DCD resolution. We can't even put anything in it anymore. And then also the fair housing resolution, which appoints a fair housing officer as myself for the county. In addition to that, we also advertised a 504 officer, which is for ADA compliance, and that again was Mr. Sobel.
Well, thank you very much for your thorough explanation and all your diligence in these matters. They are very time-consuming and very detailed. But
They are, and they become my own projects.
we do very much appreciate that. I will now ask for a motion on resolution 2025 number 8 and 2025 number 9 regarding CDBG and fair housing.
If we can do them one at a time, just so that way if they need them separated, if they need submitted.
I'll make a motion for the CDBG application and resolution 2025 number 8.
And I will second that.
Properly moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
And now if I could have a motion for the application of the 2025 number 9 fair housing resolution.
I will move that we approve resolution 2025 number 9, as explained by the chair.
I'll second.
Properly moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Lisa.
Thank you.
Next, move on to item 5. Consider a memorandum of understanding between the Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations, and the county. This is a matter that we have discussed previously. A resolution on some allocation of funds and bonuses and monies back to the general fund between the commissioners and the courts. And this is something that this has been discussed repeatedly with President Judge Ammerman. I believe we're all comfortable with this arrangement.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution.
Chair's gonna have to second it.
I will second that, and then I will ask for a vote to accept the memorandum of understanding between the Court of Common Pleas, Domestic Relations, and the county. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
No.
and the motion passes. 2 in favor and 1 opposed. Next, we'll move on to number 6, consider appointment of Landon Fairman as Farmer Director and Mike Hollabaugh as Public Director on the Clearfield County Conservation District Board.
I would just like to point out that Landon's gonna be a great board member, but he's gonna replace Larry Crittenden, who's retiring from the board, and you wanna talk about somebody who's done a lot of great service for the county. I mean, he was a teacher for, decades, was my teacher in 6th grade, and then he served in this capacity, and I just wanna publicly thank him.
Oh, no,
for
Larry
everything he's done.
Crittenden has been a fixture in the community, and not to slight Mr. Hollabaugh, we thank him for his service, but the replacing Larry, who was a little older, and Landon,
Landon's
who
very
is
young.
very young, it's
We-
refreshing to see the agriculture
We've got a
community.
nice mix, because we've got some young members of the board, and we've got some real veterans, and Mike, as you said, I don't wanna slight it, but we're reappointing him, so he's still gonna be serving, and he's a good board member too, so.
But Landon is, I've met several times, a fine young man who represents the agriculture world very well.
Yeah, and I have to agree with you. Mr. Crittenden was serving on that board before I was elected commissioner a long time ago. So
So-
he's been providing a lot of service to the county, right?
I'll make this motion to appoint both of these fine gentlemen.
And I will second it.
Properly moved and second, all in favor? Aye. The next, item 7, is just an announcement of a vacancy on the Community Connections Board. So, we had been doing pretty well at keeping our boards and authorities filled. We do have a vacancy on the Community Connections Board. Now we will move into final item on the agenda, number 8, this purchase of service agreements. This is gonna be Holly Home Care LLC, Sinclair Child Services, Inc. on the independent living side, and Sinclair Child Services, Inc. I will have our solicitor give us a quick overview. I'm assuming these are standard renewals of outside service agreement, outside providers.
These are, I know everyone's very familiar with Sinclair, obviously, they've provided services for a long time. Mayor Mason with Independent Living, and Sinclair as well, they've always done a great job. Holly Home is a new provider, new in our scope of everything, but they are our standard agreements for the renewal for the upcoming fiscal year.
Okay, given that explanation, can I have a motion to approve the purchase of service agreements, including Holly Home Care, Sinclair Child Services, and Sinclair Independent Living?
I so move.
Second?
Properly moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That concludes our agenda items. Do we have anything from the solicitor today?
I don't believe so. As a follow-up to our last meeting, we are proceeding with the Board of Elections. They had made the motion, so those will be filed here shortly, as well as just a general reminder of the upcoming election on November 4th. Commissioner Glass might have more to add to it, but I know we've been encouraging everybody to get out. Today is the last day to apply for mail-in ballots, and those mail-in ballots do need to be received by 8 o'clock on November 4th, so.
Yeah, the application deadline is the 5 o'clock tonight, and then to get them back in is 8
8
o'clock.
o'clock on then.
And
Next
our
week.
solicitor has stolen my next. He's going to remind everyone, also the last day to vote in person. You can come in, fill out the application, come around the corner. Elections office will be open till 5 p.m. today instead of the normal hour. And what has become all too familiar at our meetings, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is now 119 days without a budget. We once again implore all those involved to sit down at the table and get this hashed out. We do thank Controller Edwards for his diligence. And we so far are okay due to some good fiscal planning in the last year's budget, but this is starting to hurt a lot of people throughout the Commonwealth and is entirely unacceptable. If you gentlemen would care to add anything to that?
Any sense of how far out we are before we have to start, unfortunately, telling service providers
We do have that reserve fund, so I think that would be the next step, and obviously that'd be something that we'd discuss
yeah.
together. Right now, this week, next week, we're okay.
Okay.
Well, I'd just point out that while the state is busy not passing a budget, we've been busy the last week working on our budget, and
Absolutely.
I would like to say a couple things. Number one, I thought our department heads did a fantastic job this year, much better than I've ever seen in being prepared and presenting reasonable figures. And the controller and I are working on putting those numbers together and getting a sense where we're at. But the second thing I'll say is, this is damn near impossible without a state budget to figure out exactly where we need to be. I mean, and we're not, there's 67 counties, we're all in the same boat here, trying to guess. And that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous that we are expected to do this budget flying blind with at least 30 to 40% of the money that's supposed to be coming in, and we have no idea what's gonna happen. So, yeah, the state needs to get their act together.
Yeah, and
No,
it's-
and quickly.
And it's always those things, like you're saying, Dave, about when you're, excuse me, when you're flying blind, or, and I'm not implying the county is doing this, fortunately, we do not have to do this, as Commissioner Winter said. For example, if you're getting a tax anticipation out, there are always a lot of smaller things, because we're blundering around out there just because we don't have enough information, or, again, an example being a tax anticipation note, which I want to emphasize again, Clearfield County is not getting. But there are expenditures that are made with all good intentions that invariably have additional costs that whenever the budget finally is passed, that's great, but we're never able to
Yeah,
recoup.
we still bear.
We still bear the
If
cost,
those
the
things were
taxpayers
happening.
still bear additional costs, even though the money starts flowing again, that is never,
No, I-
gotten back.
And what John was working his way around to.
Yeah.
It was very prudent to maintain an operating reserve, which we have, and that caused much consternation among people who didn't understand it. But there is still a cost to the county in loss of investment income that we will never recover from the state. This is, while we are better equipped than some, this is costing us money. Where this is hurting directly is some outside service providers, particularly on the social services end. The smaller, the 1 and 2 person operations, they're not getting paid. They may well leave that field. They have other opportunities. That creates a further problem down the road. This is entirely unnecessary, and it will have long-term ramifications.
No question.
Yep.
Anything else for the good of order, gentlemen? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all for attending today.